Hello dear aspirants, welcome to GDC online classes and I especially welcome you all for my cognition sessions. Yes, as we all know that we are discussing the alkaloids, and as a part of alkaloids we have covered several types of alkaloids from starting pyridine alkaloids to or pyridine alkaloids to we have covered up to the different types of amino alkaloids. So we have came across and we have seen so many types of so many types of alkaloids, but now in this session we are going to complete all the alkaloids which are minor alkaloids and the last and remaining alkaloids here. Okay, yes, in this session we are going to see that the last and for most the few of the remaining topics, that is glycoalkaloids, pyridine alkaloids. We'll see all the alkaloids in this session. Yes, coming to that, first one is glycoalkaloids. So in the glycoalkaloids, we are having only one thing, that is solanum. One drug for which belongs to the glycoalkaloid, that is solanum. The name is saying that glycoalkaloid, which is a composition of both glyco and alkaloids. So glycosides and alkaloids also there in this type of alkaloid. Especially the best example for this glycoalkaloid is solanum. So this will be the solanum plant, where its purple colored flowers are be seen in this plant. And coming to the source of this solanum is, it is obtained from the dried and full grown berries of the plant of Solanum cassioanum. Solanum cassioanum, from these sources, from this Solanum cassioanum, we can get the solanum, that is glycoalkaloids can be, if you want to get the glycoalkaloid based on their action, therapeutic action, based on their chemical nature. If you want a glycoalkaloid, definitely should refer this plant called solanum, especially from the solanum cassioanum, especially from the full grown berries. This plant is consisting of berries, so if you want a glycoalkaloid, you should get that berries, and from that berries we need to extract by means of some standard procedures, so that you will get a glycoalkaloid. Coming to that, a family belong to the family of Solanaceae. Solanum Solanaceae, undoubtedly the Solanum Solanaceae. And whereas it consisting of the chemical contents of steroidal glycosides, glycoalkaloids. So glycoalkaloids called solasodine, solanum cassioanum. So that is a very simple, but especially there are as a part of the syllabus we need to cover, but very less chance of questions are expecting from this topic. Okay, solanum cassioanum, Solanum Solanaceae and solasodine. So these are the chemical constants, especially the consist of 3% of the steroidal glycoalkaloids. So this is a structure of solasodine. So where you can see it's a steroidal glycoalkaloid. So where you can see the steroidal structure, and there will be the uses. If you look at the uses of this plant solanum, as I said, that is a steroidal glycoalkaloid. It is having steroid nucleus, so that it is useful for the synthesis of some of the steroidal hormones. So it acts as a precursor for so many steroidal hormones like corticosteroids, pregnenolone, androsten, and some other steroidal hormones. So this solanum has an important role in the synthesis of the steroidal hormones like corticosteroids, pregnenolone, androsten. So these are the uses for this solanum, especially solanum cassioanum, and chemical constants is solasodine, and whereas belong to the family Solanaceae. Okay, and coming to that, the uses are they act as a steroidal hormone. So next is, in the next one we are going to start with, we are going to cover the quinazoline alkaloid. Okay, quinazoline alkaloid. Yes, now the next one is quinazoline alkaloid, which consisting of a quinazoline nucleus in the alkaloids. Quinazoline nucleus in the plant. So the plant which is consisting of this quinazoline alkaloid is Wasaka. So the quinazoline alkaloid containing plant is Wasaka. So best example in the examination, in our GPAT examination, there is a chance of getting question like, so which one of the following plant is known as quinazoline alkaloid? So you should definitely remember the type of nucleus and along with their example. So if it is a quinazoline alkaloid, you should remember that Wasaka. Quinine alkaloids, this is nothing but cinchona. So like how tropine alkaloids, atropa. Like how along with the nucleus, you should remember the plant example. Okay. Yes, coming to that, Wasaka. So we all know that Wasaka. So the source of this plant, is Adatoda wasica. Adatoda wasica. So we all know that this is a plant of Wasaka. So from the Wasaka, the TS of the Wasaka is a very important. So we'll see in the upcoming slide. But coming to the source and the synonym, we'll see that the Malabar nut. So the source, a synonym of this Wasaka is a very important one. Malabar nut. So they'll ask, which one of the following is a synonym for Wasaka? So Malabar nut, betel nut. So they'll give you some of the random options. Okay. So Malabar nut. So is the best synonym. So it's a synonym for the Wasaka. Malabar nut and Adatoda and Adolsa. Adolsa are the synonyms. But whereas it's obtained from the dried and fresh leaves of these are the leaves of Wasaka. So plant called Adatoda wasica belong to the family Acanthaceae. Adilosa, Adatoda, wasica, Acanthaceae. They all starts with A. Okay, but these are consisting of quinozoline nucleus. And this is like, from this we can get some of the chemical concepts like Wasaka, Wasacin, Adatodine and all these things. But major chief component is Wasacin. So Wasacin is a chief quinozoline alkaloid in the Wasaka. But after on this, after on the reaction, we'll get Wasacinone, which mainly acts as a bronchodilator. Wasacin and Wasacinone. And coming to the microscopy of the TS of Wasaka is a very important. You can look at here. So the transverse section of the Wasaka leaf, the midrib, you can see that systolith is there, and glandular and as well as covering trichome will be there. Glandular as well as covering trichome will be there. Sponge parenchyma will be there, and xylem will be there. Phloem will be there, and stoma definitely will be there, and xylem, phloem, both covering and, yes, that's what I said, covering and glandular trichomes are there. And whereas it consists of prismatic and acellular calcium crystals are there. There are special features of this one. Okay. So this is about the TS of the Wasaka. So it consists of both covering and glandular trichomes, collenchyma, we can see palisade cell, phloem and xylem is also there. So this is about the TS of the Wasaka. But whereas coming to the chemical content, this is quinozoline derivatives. We knew that about 2 to 2.5% of Wasacin and Wasacinone, betaine, Wasakin, and other volatile oils will be there. And also consists of adatodic acid, because the alkaloids are present as a free salts of organic acid. Here adatodic acid will be there. Okay. Yes, coming to that, last but not least, the uses of this Adatoda wasica is expectorant and bronchodilator. So these are the uses. So Adatoda wasica, Wasacin, okay, and Wasakin, adatodic acid, and expectorant and bronchodilator. So the use of this Wasaka. So that's about the quinozoline alkaloid. Next is a terpenoidal alkaloid, which means it consisting of terpenoidal nucleus. Terpenoidal nucleus. That is the best example is aconite. So aconite is the best example for the terpenoidal nucleus containing alkaloid. But whereas coming to the synonym of this aconite is a bachang, bachnag, and monkshoot. Bachnag and monkshoot. And whereas coming to the source of this aconite, Aconitum napellus. So coming from the dried tuberous root of Aconitum napellus. Aconitum napellus will be the source of this aconite. But whereas the family is Ranonucleaceae. And coming to that, chemical constants. These are very important for this one. Chemical constants are diterpenoidal alkaloids, because it is an terpenoidal alkaloid. So it is consisting of diterpenoidal nucleus. It consists of diterpene alkaloids or diterpene nucleus containing alkaloids like aconitine, hypoaconine neolin, napellin, and etc. So these are the chief constants. And apart from that, aconitic acid, succinic acid, and starch will be there, because it's a tuberous root. That's what I said in the previous sessions. Most of the subterranean organs consisting of starch. Okay, because they reserve their food in the form of starch. So that definitely they consist of starch. So aconitic acid, succinic acid, starch are the other constituents, whereas hypoconine, neolin, and naphthalene and aconitine are the chemical constituents. And we'll see the uh, upon aconitine, upon aconitine, upon hydrolysis, the aconitine upon hydrolysis you get benzyl aconine and acetic acid, benzyl aconine and acetic acid. So coming to that of uses of this aconite will be, it is used in the treatment of neuralgia, sciatica pain, rheumatism and inflammation. So these are the uses, and whereas it is also sometimes used as analgesic and cardiac depressant, and nowadays it restricted to only for homeopathic medicine because of highly poisonous in nature. Because it's only restricted to only the homeopathic medicine. They are only, the aconite will be used only in the homeopathic medicine because of some of the reasons like highly poisonous in nature. So this is a aconite plant leaf. There is purple color leaves are there, but we use only tuberous rhizomes. Okay, so we'll see that aconite is obtained from the dry tuberous roots of plant Aconitum napellus, belong to the family Rhinonucleaceae, and contains the diterpene alkaloids like aconitine, hypoconine, neolin, naphthalene, and also contain the aconitic acid and succinic acid and starch. So this is about the terpenoidal alkaloids, and we are almost done, my dear students. We are going to complete the entire alkaloids by this pyrazoline alkaloids. So for this pyrazoline alkaloids, we are having a best example of pepper. Pyrazoline, pepper. So we all knew that pepper is an spice ingredient that we use in almost all of our food ingredients, but it comes under the pyrazoline alkaloids. So which means consisting of pyrazoline nucleus. So in the pyrazoline alkaloids, the pepper will be an important drug. So for that reason, we are discussing the pepper only, and for the pepper only, we are considering the only important factors with respect to the examination. Okay, so biological source, it obtained from the dried and ripened fruits of PYRAZOLINE. So no, some of the students and almost everybody thought of that whenever we ask about the pepper source. Some people may say that Papaver somniferum. People used to say the opium source as the pepper source, but it is a Piper nigrum. Piper nigrum belong to the family Piperaceae, and this is the leaf of Piper beta. Okay, pepper leaf, and these are the pepper seeds. Okay, unripened fruits. Then after they get dry, then we get the pepper seeds, and then we made the powder, and we use for our food ingredients. Coming to that, source is Piper nigrum and families Piperaceae, and this pepper consisting of 1 to 2.5% of volatile oil. Mostly this consisting of volatile oil, but chief constituents are piperin and piperatin. Piperin, piperatin, and other crystalline alkaloids are there. The crystalline alkaloids are there. And coming to the use, or they mostly used in bronchitis and other throat related and respiratory related and gastric related, GI related problems also can be treated, and also gonorrhea, some other genital disease like gonorrhea. Okay, so this is about the pepper. The source of the pepper is Piper nigrum. It is obtained from dried ripened fruits of Piper nigrum, belong to the family Piperaceae. And coming to the chemical constants, is consisting of piperin and piperatin as the chief chemical constants. And apart from that, 5 to 9% of crystalline alkaloids are there, and used in the bronchitis and other respiratory diseases and gonorrhea. So this is about the alkaloids, my dear aspirants. Please go through each and every classification and their importance. Please do put your efforts, and please do cover the important segments that we provided in each class at each session, which means we are not included TS for all the drugs, because the only few of the drugs which are important according to the TS. So that the thing we are introduced, or that thing we are included. Please go through with all the alkaloids from starting introduction to the end of the pyrazoline alkaloids. So starting with the introduction of the alkaloids, go through with all the properties and the introduction, types, classification, and their pharmacological action. Then after that, go with the classification. For each classification, go with the their biological occurrence and their chemical structure. And then after that, do observe and do read about the synonyms. It's mostly focus on synonyms, chemical conscience, and their uses and their adulterants. But some of the drugs like volatile oil containing drugs, maybe some other drugs, you should definitely focus on the synonyms. Okay, so I wish you good luck. Please do install our app, so GDC, and do subscribe. I think you have subscribed, you have installed this app, but do subscribe and do get enrolled in other courses that we had in our GDC platform, like so many courses like Margadarshan, and we have any other courses for diploma exit examination. Do and get enroll your to the courses, then you can get more knowledge and more content for your reading. Happy learning. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next class with another new topic with glycosides. Thank you. Have a great day.